It's not the brand's job. It's your job as the creator to.
With any other main things that content creators or influencers should do when they're working with brands?
I would say never be afraid to negotiate, even if their initial email says nothing is negotiable. There's been too many times and it sounds crazy, but there's too many times I may get an email from a potential brand collaboration and they say the price is non-negotiable. Myself and or my manager will respond, this is the rate, and they'll say, great, we'll do that. Imagine if I just took for what they said. Or just like with the client story I was telling, imagine he was just like, oh, 5 years, I'm locked in. I have no choice. That's their policy. And then they came back and said, oops, accident. Just kidding. It's not. So don't be afraid to ask questions and negotiate on your own behalf, because it's not the brand's job. It's your job as the creator to tell them your worth, especially if they reach out to you. I'm always like, y'all ask me. So keep that in mind. Like your content mind, your creativity is valuable. Represent yourself every single time you're talking to a brand.
Are there any major mistakes or pitfalls that content creators should look out for when working with brands?
Oh, goodness. In perpetuity, let me just throw it out there. In perpetuity or perpetual, it means forever. So you're signing over your rights to whatever piece of content forever. It's too long. We can't price it. They don't want to pay it. That's my concept. So whenever I see it in a contract, I control F and just check, make sure I didn't see it. Perpetual, in perpetuity, all of it. Just ask them to take it out. And I promise you, I've never had a brand say they can't take it out. So to me, that shows they just put that in there to see if anyone's going to actually notice and or read it. And the reason behind that is you want them to have to come back to pay for additional usage. That's really, to me, where the money resides in the industry. Yes, you initially get the payment for you creating the content, but where you get the additional revenue is the recurring payment of them having to pay for usage. So let's say the initial collaboration was just on Instagram. They get to repost your content. You get to post it on your platform, but then they come back later and say, oh, we want to use this in our email marketing. That's an additional rate. Oh, we want to use this on a billboard. That's an additional rate. But if you say in perpetuity or perpetual or worldwide royalty-free usage, they don't have to come back for anything. So definitely look out for those terms within your contract. And again, don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask, like, how long is this usage? I read it and I don't quite understand. So that's something else. I think a lot of creators, they just overlook things or if they don't understand it, they just like, oh, it's fine. I'm just going to sign it. And then they come to me after the fact and I'm like, you already signed it. It's signed, still delivered, you know? So if you're reading something you don't understand, ask or look it up.
And what section under the contract would people find it under?
Various. Usually it's under,
Every
they
section.
kind of sneak it in there. It's interesting. I've seen it in various places, but they usually put it under ownership, and or when they talk about usage rights, licensing. Those are probably, I would say, the top three. So ownership, usage rights, licensing, you'll see that word in there. And sometimes they'll just throw it in there kind of at the end. So there usually is a clause that says, oh, I've talked to like a opposing counsel, I've talked to a lawyer in some way, discuss them the contract. And sometimes they may put it in there. I've seen it there, which doesn't really make sense. But again, we all learn it. But usually definitely check the ownership. And also make sure that you're not signing over your intellectual property or just all types of things I've seen, especially if you're working with an agency or a talent management. Read that contract too that they send you. It's great. They're going to represent you, but read that contract. Because I read one, they were like, we're going to get a percentage of any business you do, regardless of brand deals. I wouldn't recommend signing that, because what if they're not helping with that project? If you're doing merch and it's outside the scope of what they're helping with, why would they get percentage? So again, it comes with the reading and the understanding and the asking questions.
What is the sort of process for that? If you're a content creator and you've maybe got 10,000 followers, you got maybe a few brands hitting you up to send you some free soap or something to do some reviews.
Absolutely. So thank God for Google. There's so many resources. If you're going to go with like a commercial, we like to put in like a commercial contract where it's just something random on Google, choose an attorney drafted contract. There's so many now, more attorneys as well as just contract consultants in general that customize contracts that are templates. So with a template, which I love, is that you can really get in there and personalize it and customize it, and it can grow with you and your brand until you're able to really afford an attorney either in-house or on your team or even a contract consultant. So I think it's really good to go the attorney drafted template route if you're going to do that. But also don't be afraid to ask the brand. Sometimes I do that just to see if a brand, if they don't introduce a contract, I say, do you have a contract for this collaboration? or you're going to present me with a contract. And most of the time they have more resources. So sometimes it's okay to lean on them. They have more resources to purchase a contract or to talk to an attorney. And then what you can do is reach out to an attorney to help you review it and revise it. I do that as well. Being a contract consultant, I go through it with my clients. We talk about it, we redline it, we draft it, and send it back to the brand. So sometimes it's good to start off with something from the brand and then go from there.
Hey guys, we put a bunch of effort into making great content for this YouTube channel. So please hit subscribe, leave us a comment, hit like, and tell a few friends about it.